What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another little episode. We got Catch 42. We're coming in with our boy. I'm one of your hosts, Dwight Allen.
I'm Josh Stinson, and we got a very special guest. One of my high school boys, Henry Hunter.
What's up? I appreciate y'all having me on.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here, bro. So you want to just introduce yourself for a quick little second?
I'm Henry Hunter. Went to Grayson High School Stiz, and I just transferred in this year to the baseball team. Previously, I was at University of Alabama at Birmingham, and I'm a catcher on the baseball team, played a little outfield. I've really enjoyed my time, so just excited to be on.
Yeah, we'll just dive right in then. So you said you transferred from UAB. So kind of what went into that decision of you coming or leaving UAB, I guess?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was tough. It was the toughest decision I probably ever had to make, just because those are all my boys, and I was always a super vocal guy. Like, even being a young guy when I got there, like, the whole reason I wanted to go there was to change something, be a part of something bigger than myself. And UAB is not historically known to have a great baseball program, and when I kind of committed to Coach Dunn, he really just convinced me that it was an opportunity to like do something that has never been done there before, and that was intriguing. But I had a tough sophomore year, and I really just figured that I wanted a fresh start, and I hopped in the portal, and the rest kind of handled itself. But I mean, it was definitely a tough decision, just leaving all my boys and just like that being the reason I went there to start, and leaving that, and like knowing that I didn't leave it at like better than I found it. Like that was the most troubling part for me, was just like I wanted to come there and leave it better than I found it. And like that was a goal of mine the whole time I was there. So like that was a tough part, but I mean, I'm happy I made the decision. It couldn't have worked out any better, but it was tough for sure.
I mean, I'm sure you made some lasting impacts on some of those players and coaches that they gonna carry on the rest of their lives.
Nah, most definitely. And I mean, I was only out there on the field with you for a fall, and like, you know what I'm saying, you kind of understand the type of guy that you are, like the type of player, the teammate, all that kind of stuff. Like, it kind of speaks volumes about yourself as a person too. So I'm sure you left it in a way better place than you found it. Most definitely. But I know you mentioned the transfer portal. Yeah. Like, I was in it. A ton of kids have been in it. Yep. Everyone's had their stint in the transfer portal. Everybody's curious about what it's like. So kind of go into that a little bit, like talk about the transfer portal, like just that crazy decision. Was it always a decision you were like, dang, bro, like I would definitely want to go to Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Or was it like a decision where it's like, Coach West, like I can't turn that down.
Yeah,
like, what kind of was it like?
For sure, it was tough for sure, because I never ever thought I would have been in it. Like that was the biggest thing, was like, I'm really about to do this. Like I never ever saw myself as like running from something in my mind, and like that was the toughest part of like when I was going into it, I really had there was no previous like thought of going anywhere else. And after a tough year, like there was no guarantee that I would go somewhere that I really, really wanted to go. And like that was the toughest part about it, just the uncertainty of it all. And like the more I talked to like people I trust and my family, it just came down to like, I just got to go somewhere where I want to, like where I'm going to be happy, you know? And I was fortunate enough to have several places talk to me, and it was just kind of like a wider spectrum for me, just because I had a good freshman year, and then I had a tougher sophomore year. So it was just really whoever was willing to take a chance on me and kind of like see if that was still in me, and luckily Coach Coggin and Coach West called me, and it worked out from there. But I mean, it was definitely, it was a little hectic there, especially I was playing summer ball at the time too. And I mean, you know how it is, just a lot of phone calls, texts, and at the same time, it was kind of like quiet too though. Like there's times where you're like, all right, that was like a good period where people are calling me and like people are interested, but then it kind of would like be a little dead, and you're kind of like questioning, was this the right decision, you know? And I mean, it was definitely tough, but I mean, it couldn't have worked out any better. So.
Nah, it couldn't have worked out any better, bro. Yeah. I got a question for both of y'all. Y'all came off of like a tough weekend, startup SEC play. Like y'all kind of opened up and just honestly got punched in the mouth, what it seemed from the outside looking in. How was it like bouncing back this weekend? Like watching it, bro, it looked electric. Like y'all were bouncing around, like everybody was on the fence, like having fun with the game. And it just looked cool to see from the outside looking in. What kind of went into that this weekend? Like, how'd that make y'all feel, like looking like onto the future, and how'd y'all get that done?
Yeah, I would say like it's just playing at home, something for us. Like we went to defend our turf, so we really took it personal to not lose at home. Like we never want to lose another game at home. We've already lost one this season, and we're making a strong effort to defend our G. And that's what our coaches told us. That's what Coach Coggins told us. And we really took it personal, and we wanted to shake back from last weekend because a lot of people were counting us out. Like, no one gave us a chance to beat Alabama. They were a top 10 team in the nation. Like, no one was giving us a chance. But we knew how good we are, like, internally. So, kind of just took that, and we play so good at home. We know the ball flies so good there. So we just really took that personal, and we came out
Y'all
with
took
a
that
different fire. And Corey
That's
Collins
that's
just
word.
starting us off hot. So it kind of just
Coco, SEC player of the week.
Yep,
man.
yep.
Going
Shout out
crazy.
Coco.
so it kind of just got the ball rolling, and
Yeah.
we were just playing with a different energy.
What about next weekend? Another road test. Let's do it. We're going to Knoxville, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Knoxville.
Yep, we go to
Okay,
Knoxville.
yeah. Let's
Excited
do it.
for that. Yeah, I would just say, like, more than anything, we just wanted to come out and, like show a better effort. We felt like that we didn't show our best, like, our ability. We didn't play to our ability. And, like, we were just all disappointed. It was just a group, like, it was a collective feeling. We were just disappointed in the way we played and just our effort. We just felt like it wasn't our best effort. So we were excited to come home and get after it. And we knew that people were writing us off, like Stiz said, and that motivates you too. That kind of puts a little chip on your shoulder. And you know, the talk's always going to be the talk, but when you go out there, it's about that action. So it was good to get off on the right foot Friday or Saturday, and then keep it going the rest of the weekend. So
Let's do it.
Yeah, I feel like Kentucky, we definitely, like, we had a lot of guys not from the SEC, so, like, they didn't understand
It's a different ball game.
they don't understand what goes into SEC baseball, like how big time it is, how anybody can beat you. Like, Kentucky wasn't ranked. No one's thinking highly of Kentucky, but they're leading the East right now.
Yeah.
So no one really understood what went into that. But after that weekend, I feel like everybody's like, all right, this is a different ball game.
Right, and it's kind of crazy too. Like I was talking to Bass about it on the last episode. It's like the magnitude of every SEC ball game. Like you really got 30 of them, and you got to capitalize on every single one of them. You get 3 a weekend, and they're all equally important. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy to think that, but that's how it is, bro. In SEC, big time baseball.
And after dropping 3, we felt that pressure on Sunday to like win 3 back. You know what I'm saying? Which was helpful because it was like we had a little bit extra motivation. Like, well, we dropped 3 last week. Like, it's time for us to get that 3rd one back. You know, and kind of set it back even. And I mean, that was big to take 3, especially at home. Like you said, defending our turf. Like, you can't lose at home in this conference. Like, and that was important.
That 3rd game is always that swing game too, bro. Like
100%.
anything can happen on Sunday.
100%.
Anything can happen on Sunday, bro. It's huge.
So, like, we set ourselves up so well because, like, we played so well in the first 2 games. So we had like a lot of arms left. And we got through a lot of their really good arms. They already used them, so we kind of put ourselves in a good spot.
Way good.
Playing at home is it's different. Foley was electric. Like,
I seen it, bro.
All the games were packed. They were into the game. Like, they were actually staying the whole game. Thank you, Foley faithful. Y'all came out and supported. I just want to shout out my appreciation to that because y'all were out there in numbers, and we need you the whole season. But Henry, I'm gonna go back to Athens. It's a beautiful place. You had a great weekend. Great weekend. You came off the bench and hit a double.
Thank you.
Great weekend. So what made this place like the right choice in your eyes?
Yeah. Definitely like coming home was intriguing, obviously. And just playing for your home state, when you play for something bigger, it just seems like you play a little bit harder. And so coming home was just obviously super cool, just being a Georgia kid. And then obviously the staff, I loved what I had to hear, and I loved how motivated they sounded and their track record that they have had of winning and the good players that they've helped develop. And just like, I loved how much they cared just over the phone. And just, I could tell just their energy and just their effort, and I've always heard like, go where you wanted, not where you want to be, you know? And that was tough, because it's a little scary going to the SEC where it's like, people, you don't really know how much they really want you. They can kind of get whoever they want to get, necessarily. And but I mean, I could really tell the energy. And if I didn't feel like it was a place where I could come and contribute, then it probably wouldn't have been the place for me. But I mean, there's not a better college city than Athens in America. So coming here was definitely just super, super exciting.
Yeah, I feel like you definitely came in and changed the program for the better. Like, you're one of those vocal leaders that we really needed because you kind of bring the team together and like. You do it with work ethic and like with your voice, so
I appreciate it.
It kind of helps us.
I got a question for you, bro.
Yeah.
And this is a legitimate question. Like, we talk about it a lot amongst the guys, but like, what makes you like play with that energy, play with that fire? I know you keep saying the word like energy. It's like a buzzword for you. I say the word enthusiasm all the time, bro. You play with like just an unmatched enthusiasm on the field every time. Like, dude hits a double, gets up, he's like, yeah, doing his little thing, bro. Like, how is that so easy to turn on and turn off? You know what I'm saying? But it's just like for you, like that notch is always up. Like you always on go. What goes into that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's just kind of who I've always been in a way. Even like growing up playing football or playing basketball, like it was always that way in other sports too. That's just kind of who I've always been. I've always just been super passionate about just sports. Like just it always mattered to me. Winning like just always. it always just drove me, you know, and I don't really know like exactly what it is. I mean, obviously you got to think about things like there's a lot of kids out there that would want to be exactly where you are, and like that's something that I try to think about all the time. Just be grateful to be there. You know, like this is something that everybody else on earth would want to be doing,
No doubt.
and I have an opportunity to do that every single day, and so I just want to enjoy it. And then obviously just too, like every time I'm out there, I never want to be able to like look back and regret something, like and not say like that I didn't leave it all out there, that I didn't work as hard as I could have, and you know, when I do leave it all out there, like it just comes out of me because it's like I'm giving it all I got, you know. But it's also frustrating at times too when you pour something, like you pour so much into something, and then it can be frustrating, like when you're going through struggles, and that's a part of the game. But to answer your question, I just feel like it's just more of just, I mean, my family is just who I've always been, kind of. It's just that's the type of athlete I've always kind of been. I've always looked up to those guys too. Like that's always been something that I've always looked up to, like the players who I want to be, you know, like I've always, that's been something since I was a baby. I've always had those guys where I'm just like, I want to be like that guy one day. And like, that's been something that's always just like pulled me in. It's just a guy that's energetic, that's pulling everybody together, you know, that's firing everybody up. And yeah, that's just something that I don't know. So.
No, it's just crazy because I went to high school with Henry. So I've seen him develop from a freshman to now, which is a crazy like 360 of he's evolved into this great player now. Because he was on varsity as a freshman. He might not have been the best freshman on varsity, but he was there and he was making an impact.
Yeah.
He was so happy to be there. Like he was our catcher and he was our star catcher. Like he was a stud behind the plate. And it was crazy because like his hitting wasn't the best yet and he would get DH for, and he was not mad about it. He would just come, hit extra every day. He would do whatever it took to get better at hitting. And just that mindset that I saw in him, I knew he was going to be great. Didn't you quit football the next year?
I did. I quit after my sophomore year.
That's crazy. It's crazy because we won state championship that year.
Yep.
So you won the state championship and then hung it up.
Yeah.
Go on a high note. I feel you.
Yep.
Got to go out on a high note.
I feel you. Go on a high note.
But he said baseball is my passion. I'm going to pursue that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It worked out. It worked out, honestly.
Yep. So it did. It definitely did. So.
You talked about growth. He's been a long way since his freshman year. How much do you think your game has grown since you left to come from Birmingham to Athens?
Yeah, no, it's definitely elevated, and I think that's just I contribute that all the time to just the dudes I've been around, you know, like, and that's nothing against the players I play with at UAB, but here there are a lot of very good players, and it's not just one or two good players. It's like a whole collection of good players. There's no weak point, you know, and that's something that it makes it easy to show up to it makes it hard actually to show up to the yard and have to compete with those guys every single day, but at the same time it makes it easier to develop because you're always trying and having to be your best at every single moment, and that's something that it makes me want to work harder every single day because of the guys around me, and I see how much they put in and I see how good they are, and it just makes me want to just keep leveling up, keep getting better and better.
Yeah, that's how it is in the SEC. You're around so many great guys.
No doubt.
Iron sharpens iron.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Being around those good guys, Charlie Condon.
Yep.
All those good guys.
The list goes on and on.
The list literally goes on.
Most
forever.
definitely.
Like our bats are insane this year.
And just facing the good pitchers that we have in the fall, and obviously the coaching staff's done a great job of helping me out and getting me where I feel like I need to be, and making me confident. And you know, Wes talks about confidence all the time, and like that was something that was big for me last year, that I kind of fell into that trap of just forgetting that I'm good, you know, forgetting that I can do it. And Wes done a good job of just making me kind of find that again and just feel like I can do it a little bit more. So it's been really, really good.
Wes Johnson, this is the start of a great era.
Absolutely. It's going to be special.
I feel like once the renovations are done,
it's gonna be
that's
special.
when UGA baseball is going to take off.
Yeah, no doubt.
Everybody gonna want to come to Georgia.
No doubt.
Georgia's going to be crazy.
Coach Coggin actually talked to us today, and he was like, I'm done losing kids from the state of Georgia. If I like you and you're from the state of Georgia, you're coming here. He's like, I'm taking a whole team of Georgia boys to Omaha, and I truly believe that's going to happen.
That's definitely going to happen. Georgia has the best baseball. It has the best all sports.
All sports.
Bingo.
All across the board.
It's not a debate.
All across the board.
No debate.
But Grayson High School has the best
Alabama,
athletes,
it don't matter.
Yep.
Right,
we were watching one of my boys on.
I ain't gonna get into that conversation.
On my buddy Ian Shefflin.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. We got somebody on Clemson.
Yeah.
He's in the Sweet 16
I think he's played basketball.
Now.
Yes.
I think I seen you reposting him.
And
he has 10 double-doubles this year, and they're in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, he's like that.
We had somebody who dropped 40 in a game at North Texas.
Y'all want to put me on with a little acronym? What is BIA?
Best in America.
Okay, word.
Best in America.
Best,
Oh, yeah.
Is he the best in America?
He's the best in America.
You said it here, bro.
Yeah, what he does, he's the best in America.
on,
but
man.
our teammates, just one of them, I was talking to him yesterday. He's like, man, Georgia's just got so many dudes all over the place. Like, y'all are just all over. Like, how you know all these dudes? And I'm like, I told you Georgia sports are the best. Like, it's not
crazy,
a debate.
bro.
It's not a debate.
The relationships are stupid.
Yeah.
And the
crazy
tennis boys walked in too. Like,
It's crazy because, like,
Yes, sir.
sometimes, like, in high school, you know their dogs, and they'll go to college, and, like, they might not play for 1 or 2 years, but then they start popping off.
Yep.
They start going crazy.
It's
And you like,
development.
I always knew that was in there. Like,
Yep.
I always knew that was in there.
Just a matter of time.
Matter of time. Like,
Yep.
Georgia boys grind.
Absolutely.
They get after it.
Y'all said Omaha. How far do y'all think this team can go this year? Like, realistically, like, what y'all think? Y'all came off a sweep against Alabama.
I think we can go
Top
all the
10
way,
team.
honestly. We can definitely get to Omaha. That's the bare minimum that I want from this team.
Bare minimum.
Like, I came back to go to Omaha. Like, I wanted to lay the foundation for the West Johnson era, start something new
Off
in
rip,
Athens.
get it going.
Yep.
Like, I didn't come back just to lose. I didn't come back just to show up and play. Like, I came back to win. Like Henry was saying, like, winning is just something I love. Like, it drives me. So just seeing how far we can go. We have a great team. Like, we have one of the best players in America. So I feel like if we don't go a long way, then we just didn't earn it, or we just didn't work hard enough. And I don't want to leave anything on the table.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I think it's just how we're going to go as far as we think we can go, you know,
Yeah.
just that belief again. You know, I just think if we truly think we can get there, I think the sky's the limit for this group. And I think that was so big for this weekend, winning those 3 against Alabama, just to know that we can do it, like know what we're capable of. And as that confidence continues to grow, like that's when I think we're really going to take off. But that just takes time, and that just takes some adversity too. Like maybe the best thing we'll look back at is, man, in the moment, Kentucky series seemed like the end of the world, but really that helped us get to where we needed to be, you know. And I hope we look back and say that, you know. But
looking forward to next weekend and like I guess the future SEC series. I guess y'all got what? I can't do my math right. 24 games left.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are y'all most excited about? Looking forward to this weekend, and then y'all got a big one in 2 weekends. Y'all going to Starkville. What y'all most looking forward to today?
I would say Tennessee, they're ranked really high. So I feel like this is our chance to put our name on the map. Kind of like show everybody Georgia is a big school. Like, y'all should be talking about us. Like, we're really good. Like, you shouldn't sleep on us. You shouldn't count us out ever. And I feel like this is our statement weekend.
Yeah.
And I feel like we're going to go up there and we're going to handle business.
Yep, no doubt. I would agree. I just think I'm just excited to just, like Stiz kind of said, just show everybody that we're for real, like we're coming, you know, and it's not a fluke. And I think people might be caught up a little bit in that, and like we might even have some guys that still might not fully believe, you know, and just convincing ourselves and convincing the Georgia faithful that this ain't a fluke, you know, that we're coming. And like I said, it just takes a matter of time, and once it clicks, and it's just that once that ball gets rolling and it goes downhill, the dogs are coming. So
Dominoes keep falling.
So I'm excited, but we just got to take it one thing at a time, one game at a time, and not look too far ahead, and keep taking care of business.
I feel like our team is just, as the days go on, we're just getting closer and closer. Like, we're gelling, we're knowing each other's game. Like, we're like, all right, we're willing to check each other more, like, as the season goes on, because we're enduring all these battles and all these hardships, and we're getting through them. So I feel like the team is really coming together.
Day by day, brick by brick. So I got a couple fan questions for y'all. Which I want to do first? So if y'all could, hold on, let me think about this question. What is one player on the team right now that y'all would not let date y'all's daughter?
That's a
Who is it?
crazy question.
I got to think about this.
I don't even know.
Go ahead and say what y'all want to say, but don't be scared.
How about you say who I would let date my daughter? What about that?
Nah, I like my question.
I mean, I feel like we have a group of good guys, honestly. Like,
So
I don't know
you
who
can't tell me one guy that you would not let date your daughter in that locker room right now.
I mean, I don't have a daughter. But if I did have a daughter.
If you did have a
If I did have a daughter.
Paraphrase that question, it's good.
Like, maybe Jarvis? Like, I don't know. He just doesn't really know what he wants right now.
That's hilarious.
But Shout out Jarvis. I love the kid, but he's
Throw him a little
very
love.
unsure.
Throw him a little love.
He's very unsure with what he wants, you know. But
That's too funny. I don't know who mine would be. I'm trying to think.
That's what
I'm
I'm
trying to go
saying.
around the locker room and like envision faces.
I feel like we have good guys.
Yeah,
like-
we do. We do low-key have really good guys. I mean, I'm trying to think. Me, Jarvis is a good one. That's funny.
That's
funny.
two for
Just
Jarvis.
'cause-
All right, you got
just
two
'cause
votes.
Jarvis,
You got
that
two
boy.
all right. My question. This is my question. If you only could eat one meal the rest of your life, what is that meal?
Oof. I gotta go pizza. Just like a good pepperoni pizza.
From where?
From
Like deep dish or like?
nah, just like straight up Riverside Pizza in Grayson. Probably just a good old
$5.
$5. Just
$5
a nice,
pizza.
trashy pizza.
Okay.
Like that is like if there's one meal that I can just like
Pizza's
go crazy
I was
on,
not gonna guess that.
Here
probably
I gonna
pizza
be
or wings.
big,
Like yeah,
big back.
I'm gonna be big. I'm gonna be a big boy if I eat pizza. Or
Yeah, what
wings,
you got?
But
So I don't know if you remember this, but like 2 years ago, you know we used to set a little camera up, like going to the field, and they asked that same question, and I said chicken, broccoli, and rice.
it's kind of boring
Yeah, it's
though.
pretty.
You know
And
what I'm
like,
saying?
but
Is it
like,
seasoned
bro, it's like
chicken?
a,
Like-
what's the little my plate used to do in elementary school? Like, I don't know, just kind of.
Like I might be
Exciting,
fat, but I'll be happy. I feel like you might
that
not
is
be
a little
happy.
bit like you gonna get bored.
Yeah,
of
I
it.
got
you'll be
clipped
right.
on social media for like really bad. Like,
You'll be right though.
You're gonna
like,
hate
what's
your
up with these
life after
dudes,
a while.
like-
You're gonna be like, oh, I gotta eat.
yeah,
See, I would say that same thing, but like in hibachi style, like
yeah.
fried rice. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Okay, that's fair.
So I can put
That's
some
good.
teriyaki, put
Yeah,
some
no,
yum yum
that's
sauce
good.
on it.
That's
you know?
fair. But I mean, could I adjust it? Could I be like chicken, broccoli, and rice, and then like I got a pot and a pan, I just make my stir fry.
I like
Like,
that.
you could,
That-
you
like that's
could.
straight.
You know what I'm saying?
Chicken broccoli and rice is good.
I got the ingredients.
like
I got a
that's
platform.
that's just like a good like everyday meal. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You can eat.
It's
I can
solid.
eat that.
Yeah.
And you can make it like lots of different
Yeah.
ways, like you
Me,
said.
me and Da, we don't eat steak, so
Y'all don't
Yeah.
eat steak at
You
all.
don't eat steak no more?
no, I've never eaten steak for real.
For real?
Like
Dang.
actual steak,
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
You done with red meat or just like steak?
I eat some red meat, but
type.
You eat any
Yeah.
red meat?
It's good for your gut.
Yeah.
It makes me feel good. And you gotta drink kombucha.
Yeah.
Shout out kombucha. That's a gut cleanser. But one more question for y'all.
I bet.
If y'all had to go to dinner with 3 celebrities, 3 people out there, celebrities, friends, like
Yeah.
who y'all going to dinner with?
Like, is it 3 people at the same time?
Yeah, like you're sitting at a table, it's boom, 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 you.
All right.
All right. I'd probably say, can they be dead?
Yes.
All right.
Dead or alive.
Kobe Bryant. Probably. Let me think about this for a second. Kobe, for sure. I would say. Shoot. I'm gonna say Dwayne Johnson. I'm gonna say The Rock.
Ooh,
just because I want to go a little different. Like I want to get a little different avenue, and like he's one of my favorite people.
Yeah.
And then. It's hard for me to not say like Tom Brady or Michael Jordan because I mean that's
Yeah.
just cool to me. But if I had to go down a different avenue, trying to think, probably like I want someone like from way back, but like someone that's been through a lot, like somebody that's like I'm trying to think of somebody good that would give me a lot of like wise
wisdom?
insight. You
Like
know
a
what I'm saying? Like
trailblazer.
yeah. Someone that would give me a lot of good insight for life. That's just wise. That's seen it
Yeah.
all. You know. That's why honestly, like I would say like my grandpa because I feel like my grandpa just having him there with me,
It
you know what I'm
is.
saying, would
Yeah.
be cool.
No, yeah. that'd be-
Yeah.
You know, so
He get to experience it too.
yeah,
Yeah.
just to go a little different, just so I'm not
Yeah.
saying 3 athletes
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's easy for me to pick my 3 favorite.
All right, so I would say Quavo, of course. Will Smith, he's my favorite actor. And then like Mark Cuban, because I feel like if we all sit at a table, we can cook up
We
some,
can get the money
we
on
can
going.
cook up some big
We can
business
get the money
idea, you know what
on.
I'm saying?
We can get the
Like
money on.
we can make the money multiply.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
For me, I'm gonna go against the grain too. I'm gonna go Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
Just cause like I'm so captivated
So many
by his
questions.
life. I got so many questions.
So many
like,
questions. Nah, I agree.
Like, what are you really talking about? Johnny Manziel. It's gonna be an interesting table. Johnny Manziel, Martin Luther King, right?
Okay.
So that's like
Nah, yeah,
way
yeah.
different avenues.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I need somebody like really rich. Give me Elon Musk.
Yeah, that's good.
Give me Elon Musk.
good,
'cause
that's
we
heavy.
really
That's a
finna go to the
crazy-
moon.
That's heavy. Yeah,
That's
We
a
really
crazy
finna go to the
table.
moon.
That's good.
Yeah, it's gonna be a.
I'm gonna say
great
for
talk.
my
What
third,
y'all
actually, I'm gonna say Winston Churchill. I like Winston.
Wow.
He drops a lot of good quotes.
That's crazy.
And that's
He does.
crazy because it's like
That's crazy.
someone super random. You know what I'm saying? Like super
Winston
random.
Churchill.
And like I was saying, like he's been through a lot, so
Yeah.
he can give me lots of good wisdom.
Give us
Yeah.
a quote he had. What he said.
There's
You
too
know?
many. There's too
Oh,
many.
there's too many.
Yeah,
Give me
there's
one.
too many. There's too many. I can't even give you one. I can't.
Come on,
hold
look
you.
one up, bro. Look,
I
find
can't
one.
hold you. I can't hold you. on
Hey,
that.
I would
funny,
say
bro.
Langston Hughes too, since we're gonna go that avenue.
But you know what I'm saying?
Langston
Like
Hughes
I
would
like
be
a lot
fire.
of his
I like
quotes.
it though.
There's a lot of
I
his
can rock
quotes that
with
I'm
that.
like, that's fire.
Yeah,
Like this
I can
guy
rock with
is
that.
that's good
He
stuff.
knows what he's
you know what I'm
talking
saying?
about.
And he's
Yeah.
seen it all. Like he's a good leader. That's why I
can
like
rock with
that.
that.
You know?
Nah, that's hilarious.
Like, but I was thinking Drake too. When you said Quavo, I was
Bruh.
like,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought
Drake.
you were
not
gonna
get
say
all-
Drake.
Yeah, I was
for
like-
sure.
I almost said Drake, but I was
I
like,
just,
would have
it
Quavo.
just slipped my mind. Honestly,
Yeah,
but
Drake would be insane.
Drake would have to be in the
He's a
conversation.
close fourth.
Yeah, he would
For
be
sure.
crazy.
For sure.
He'd be crazy.
Well, I feel like that's all we got.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all for watching this episode of Catch 42. We back in a couple weeks with some new content. We want to give a big thank you to the Mark for allowing us to come in and use their room for this evening. So thank you, Hunter, for joining us.
Appreciate
And
it.
shout
That's
out
been
the
awesome.
Players Lounge for having us.
I said Hunter, Henry.
You're good.
Henry Hunter.
Appreciate y'all having me on. Means a lot. Appreciate y'all boys.
Yes, sir.